Hey son, I wanted to talk to you. I know religion's important and all, but I think you might be taking it.
So lately I've been a little bit too obsessed with sports manga. I've been reading them all the time, everywhere. And this especially escalated after I made this video, which a lot of you guys liked it, others liked it even more that they wanted to download it, and some others. But after a little bit of thinking, I came up with an idea. Since most of you guys like Blue Lock, and lately I'm obsessed with sports manga, why not fuse those two elements? So without further ado, here are 5 ongoing manga like Blue Lock. And I also did this to convert you guys, cause this channel right now feels a little bit culty. Honestly, I would love to be a cult leader. But no, this channel is not just about Blue Lock, it's about reviewing anime in general. On with the video. But wait, what is Blue Lock? Some people who didn't join the cult yet might ask. Well, I'm just gonna ask that someone in the comments explain Blue Lock plot to everyone else, because it will take me too long to try and explain it. I will pen the best spoiler-free explanation of Blue Lock. I will try to explain the plot of this manga in one breath. Awashi is a football/soccer manga about a suburban kid named Awashito who goes to Tokyo to become a pro. Wow, that was surprisingly easy. As you might have noticed, the plot is pretty straightforward. Just another kid who's trying to go pro in his favorite sport. Doesn't have anything new or original. Or is it? What makes Awashi special and stand out among all the other sports manga is the fresh presentation it has. Instead of the shonen logic of genius or power of friendship, the main character Ashito grows by practicing soccer. I mean football. Okay, this is getting annoying. We need to decide on one word. Is it football or soccer? Let's see who was the first to invent it. According to FIFA, modern soccer began in England in 1863, however, the very earliest form of kicking a ball seems to have originated from a Chinese military man called Tsuchu. Okay, you heard this boys, from now on it's called Tsuchu. As I was saying, never have I ever seen a Tsuchu manga more realistic than Awashi. Most Tsuchu manga like in Captain Tsubasa, Inazuma 11 and Days are pretty unrealistic. They might be good, but aimed at a much younger demographic. Bro, just looking at this made me feel so nostalgic. I used to watch Captain Tsubasa when I was 6 years old. By the way, check this out. This is the Arabic version of Captain Tsubasa opening. God, I'm going on completely unrelated tangents in here. Okay, focus. As I was saying, instead of having superpowers, Awashi is instead heavy on tactics, in all the different intricacies of the beautiful game, which truly does the biggest sport in the world justice. Art. The art is unique, gorgeous, and clean. It's easy on the eyes that you get a clean view on everything. The clear passes, the shots, the tackles, everything stands out beautifully. However, it actually starts off not very good in the early chapters, but it grows to become beautiful as the story progresses. Similarities with Blue Lock. Just like Blue Lock, Awashi have its own take on egoism in sports. The main character Ashito is a selfish forwarder who don't like to pass. He ignores the formation in positions and just play in the positions that he thinks he should be in. He even stated in the first interaction with his teammate that the tactics should be built around him. And just like Isagi from Blue Lock, Ashito also have a great field awareness, where he can remember the positions of all the players and use this to his advantage. However, let's be honest with this, the main character of Blue Lock is pretty lame. And Ashito from Awashi is anything but that. He's a really likable character, no edgy personality, no cheesy dialogue, and it's been a while since I felt genuine attachment to a shonen manga protagonist. Anime adaptation. There is an anime adaptation that was released in the spring of this year, and it's actually pretty good. Animation is not fancy, it just do the job. You will not think that it's bad, but it just does its job, nothing more. The colors are pleasant to the eye, and you kinda feel refreshed after watching each episode. That same refreshing feeling that you get when you watch Haikyuu. And the music has a huge role in that. This is the kind of background music you hear in Awashi. And this is the one you hear in Blue Lock. But with all of that being said, I watched 3 episodes of the anime and I was like, yeah, that's pretty good. Then I read the first chapter of the manga. Second, third, 10, 100, I couldn't stop. The anime stayed true to the manga, but it's just a whole different experience when reading the manga. I would highly recommend reading instead of watching. You will have to sacrifice the animation and soundtracks, but with all honesty, the soundtrack isn't that great, so you can just play some Haikyuu soundtracks and read it and it would feel much better than watching the anime. So I give it a score of 8 out of 10.
I woke up in my head
Next up is actually not a manga, but a webcomic titled The Build-Up, which is written by 911, 911, 911. Maro Kang was just an ordinary kid with ordinary interests, until one day his father was watching a Tsuchu documentary. Even though Maro had no interest in watching that, he sat there waiting for it to end so he can watch his favorite anime, Gintama, the best. But what he didn't expect is, he got hooked with the sport. He became so obsessed that for the first time in his life there was something he wanted to do. So filled with determination, he sets a new goal for himself: to become an amazing Tsuchu player. But there was a problem. The other kids would never let him play with them because he was fat. Tsuchu was like something forbidden to him. Even the back of his dad's bald head looked like a ball to him. So, as if possessed, he found himself heading back to the field day after day after day, until the other kids decided to let him be their ball boy. More than anything, Maru was just glad to be included. So he worked really hard as a ball boy. And a few weeks later, even though he didn't know why his father bought him a football, so he was finally able to practice on his own. He trained hard in the hope that one day he could play in a real Tsuchu game. The basics, stamina, and the kicking. He never been so into anything before. He liked who he was when he was playing Tsuchu, so he never gave up. And after all this hard work, he finally became a Super Bowl boy. Yes, as time went, Maru became an errand boy, and he's been living like this for the past 5 years and has already been proclaimed the king of the losers at his high school. Can Maru overcome the obstacles in his path and transform into a talented and successful Tsuchu player? I will leave that for you to discover.
A common trope.
So you know how in shonen stories they have the zero to hero trope, when the protagonist who lacks an ability that others have become the best even with that lack? Korean comics have their own take on that. The protagonists always go from getting bullied to impressing everyone and getting recognized. And this is a really common trope in manhwa. I think the best comic that used this trope are Solo Leveling and Loukism, but it's really just satisfying to see the main character become the best. Art. The art might not be of a high caliber, but it's really beautiful and refreshing. It's like a breath of fresh air. The yellowish green of the field makes me want to just stare at it for a whole minute before continuing scrolling. It looks so aesthetic. And the contrast between the simplistic art style and the detailed one makes the panel stand more and just hit differently. And overall, it's just such a wholesome read. I don't know what else to say to convince you guys to read it, but it's just so good. It's definitely one of my top 5 favorite manhwa. I'll give it a solid 10 out of 5. Also, I asked you guys if you use the Webtoon app, and apparently a lot of you don't, so I just wanted to recommend it to you if you want to read manhwa. And be careful, this app is like crack. Once you start using it, there is no going back. Next, let me grace you with a sports anime that will completely change your life. If I was to pick one title of everything I'm talking about today, this is the one I would recommend. It's an anime about a fictional sport that pits well-endowed women against each other on water-based platforms. The twist? They can only hit each other using their chests and ass. What? Am I being sarcastic? No, look, this anime was passionately animated. What? Oh, I forgot to remove my glasses. And what part of this is similar to Blue Lock, you ask? Everything. The plot is really engaging. The visual metaphors are fascinating. You got teary hypnosis, a surface-to-surface boss missile, and my favorite, a girl that has the power of having a sentient butt that gets possessed by spirits. She goes unconscious, and her butt drags her around hitting other people. And just like Blue Lock, the sport even got a pro scene with a full scientific field dedicated to studying and teaching such a thing. They even teach them my favorite subject.
A science called astronomy.
What the
Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist.
Next manga is a figure skating one. And I know, what does figure skating have to do anything with Blue Lock? Well, nothing. Except that just like Blue Lock inspired me to start playing football, the video game of course, this manga inspired me to start professional ice skating in real life. Here's a clip of me teaching you some tips on how to skate.
Let's go.
Tsukasa is a 26 years old ice skater who started being serious about skating when he was almost 20. But this is considered very late in the game. No one wanted to coach him. So he started working part-time jobs and slowly gives up on his dreams. Inori is 11 years old. She's awkward, has no friends, her classmates call her stupid. Her own mother thinks she's stupid, but it all fades away when she gets to skate. Skating is the one thing she wants most in life. But even though she's still just a child, in her age, it's seen as still very late to start figure skating as a profession. So when the paths of these two crosses, Tsukasa realizes that if anyone can understand Inori, it's him. So he becomes her coach. Their destination is the ice on the world stage. Character writing. Believe me when I say this, but the amount of care that was put into making this manga is mind-blowing. And what makes it so good is just the character writing between the guy and the girl. The relationship they have is wonderful. The way he supports her, the way she can shine because of his support, is just heartwarming. It makes every small triumph feel much more impactful. Tsukasa wants to help the little girl to be the best, but it's not because he felt that it's in his life in just trying to live his dreams via Inori. No, it's because he understands what it's like to be in her shoes, and if no one was there for him, then he can be there for her. The character work here was just brilliant. And I loved how the author didn't just make her some genius who has it easy. No, it was the opposite. What she has is through hard work, passion, and hunger. And she reminded me a lot of Rock Lee from Naruto, who was the reason I cried for the first time watching an anime. It was the scene when he was given the choice of either giving up on his dream of becoming a renowned ninja or doing a surgery that has so little chances of succeeding. I don't know, for me seeing someone put so much effort and hard work always makes me get so emotional. Also, the struggle of being told that you are starting too late felt so relatable, at least to me. Because it really doesn't matter at what age you start. What matters is that you are serious and passionate about whatever you are planning to do. Remember kids, it's never too late. By the way, it's raining. Shh. I give Medalist a score of 8 out of 0. Yeah, it's infinite. The next and last recommendation is... Oh yes, another webcomic, and it's not about football either. This time it's about bike riding. This manhwa is what you will get if Initial D fucked Yowamushi pedal while watching Blue Lock. Okay, I mean it because A, it's about street racing and you get a lot of drifting, like Initial D. They even reference the gutter technique in it. B, it's about bike racing, like Yowamushi pedal. But oh brother, the way he rides that bike is every dream I've ever had. And C, it's edgy, like Blue Lock. Okay, let me give you the premise first. The story is about this high schooler, Jae-hyun, who's been burdened with expectations since childhood, which makes him feel obligated to aim for the top through his studies, giving him little time to befriend others. However, possessing an exceptional talent for biking with a technique that astonishes other experienced bikers, there is more to him than meets the eye. One afternoon while Jae is skidding his bike at high speed, he catches the interest of his classmates. Among those classmates was Yeom Min-woo. Bro, why is Korean name so hard to spell? Amazed by his unparalleled biking skill, Min-woo is quick to recruit him to his biking crew. But Jae coldly rejects the offer. So with a determination to show Jae the fun of riding with others, he proposes a simple deal: to race against a member of his team, promising to leave him alone if he wins. And that's how the journey of Jae into biking starts.
Art.
The art make this manhwa look like a movie with the way the panels are drawn. And like Awashi, the art here also starts not that good. It's not terrible or anything, however as you continue to read, the art will drastically improve. The change here is so much greater than what I said about Awashi. It really gets so much more beautiful later on. There are some panels that are wallpaper worthy, which are amazingly well drawn. By the way, when I was reading this manhwa, I realized that skidding and drifting using bikes is actually a thing in real life, and it's so freaking sick. Check out these clips. So overall, this manhwa have intense and exhilarating races. The jokes occasionally make me chuckle, and the plot, dude. good shit, mate. And there is drama and some sprinkles of romance, so it's not for everyone if you are not into that kind of stuff. So for me, it's a 10 out of a 10. Or maybe I'm just being biased, because biking is one of my favorite sports. I don't know. Actually, I like how this video ended up being just me talking about my favorite sports. Speaking of favorite things, I love memes too, just like everyone else, I believe. So I made a new series in which I review anime with popular memes and explain their context. You can check it out in here. And thank you for watching my ass videos till the end. I really appreciate it. I know I'm usually sarcastic, but I really appreciate it.